Do you have an expired cake for my daughter? The bakery went completely silent. Customers stopped talking. The cashier froze. Even the soft music playing in the background felt too loud. A poor-looking man stood at the counter, holding the hand of a little girl in a faded pink dress. Her eyes were bright, but her shoes were torn, and her hair was tied with an old ribbon. The cashier looked shocked. "Sir, we don't sell expired food," she said coldly. The man nodded slowly. "I understand. I'm not asking for free food. I'll pay just less." People nearby began whispering. What kind of father asks for expired cake? That's disgusting. He shouldn't have kids if he can't afford cake. The little girl tugged her father's hand and whispered, "Papa, it's okay. I don't need cake." But the man knelt down, smiled gently, and said, "Today is your birthday, my princess. You deserve a cake." What no one knew was that someone very important was standing just behind them, listening to every word. At the back of the bakery stood a tall man in simple clothes. Jeans, a plain shirt, no security, no luxury. To everyone else, he looked like an ordinary customer. But he was Daniel Carter, one of the richest businessmen in the city. Daniel had come to the bakery quietly that day. He was tired of people being nice only because of his money. Today, he wanted to observe people as they truly were. And now, he was witnessing something that touched his heart. He watched as the cashier crossed her arms. "Sir, please leave. You're disturbing other customers." The man took out his wallet. Inside were a few old notes and some coins. "This is all I have," he said softly. She just turned 6. The little girl looked up at the cakes behind the glass. Chocolate, strawberry, colorful icing. Then looked away. Daniel felt something tighten in his chest. He stepped forward. "Excuse me," Daniel said calmly. "Why are you asking for an expired cake?" The man looked embarrassed, but answered honestly. "My wife passed away last year. Since then, it's just me and my daughter. I work 2 jobs, but today, I got paid late. I didn't want her birthday to pass without a cake." The bakery was quiet again. The cashier looked uncomfortable, but said nothing. Daniel bent down to the little girl's level. "What's your name?" he asked. "Lily," she replied softly. "And what kind of cake do you like, Lily?" Her eyes lit up. "Chocolate, but only if Papa can buy it." Daniel stood up. His voice was firm now. "I'll take the biggest chocolate cake you have." The cashier blinked. "Sir, and pack it nicely," Daniel added. With candles, the cashier hurried to obey. Daniel turned to the father and placed the cake box in his hands. "This is for Lily." The man shook his head quickly. "No, sir, I can't accept charity." Daniel smiled gently. "This isn't charity. This is kindness. And one day, when you can, pass it on." Tears filled the man's eyes. "Thank you," he whispered. "You don't know what this means." Daniel wasn't done yet. He handed the cashier his card. "From tomorrow," he said quietly, "this bakery will start a No Child Without a Birthday program. Any child whose parents can't afford a cake, you give them one. I'll cover the cost." The cashier's face turned pale. "And one more thing," Daniel added. "I'm buying this bakery." Gasps filled the room. "I want this place to be known for kindness, not judgment." The little girl hugged the cake box tightly and said, "Thank you, Uncle." Daniel knelt and replied, "Happy birthday, Lily." The father and daughter left the bakery smiling, something they hadn't done in a long time. The customers stood silently, ashamed of their earlier whispers. That day, the bakery didn't just sell cakes. It learned a lesson. You never know why someone asks for something unusual. You never know the pain behind a simple question. And you never know when a small moment will change lives forever. As for Daniel Carter, he didn't post about it. He didn't call the media. He simply walked out, knowing that sometimes the richest people are not those with the most money, but those with the most heart.